Meetings at Work, Part 5, brought to you by Dogwatch Navigation, LLC, copyright Art and Science of Coaching. This coaching program is licensed only to Dogwatch Navigation, LLC. The terms and conditions found in Unit 1 apply to all the units in this course. Welcome to Unit 5 of Meetings at Work, Conflict Resolution and Listening Skills. I'm Carol Hallberg, a certified executive life coach specializing in emotional intelligence and the principal of Dogwatch Navigation. Please visit the Dogwatch Navigation website or listen to my podcast, Navigation Points, to learn more about my services. Now let's get started. Meetings require that participants interact with each other to make decisions and accomplish designated tasks. The supercharged manager helps participants work together in a productive and efficient manner. In this module, you'll learn listening skills, group leadership skills, and conflict resolution skills to help you better achieve the goals of your meeting. Conflicts are the result of people having different experiences and expectations. Sometimes the presence of a conflict in a meeting is beneficial. Conflict gives us the chance to see other people's points of view. Conflict requires us to be more creative than normal. Meetings without conflict often end sooner, but with conflict, specifically creative conflict, meetings frequently end with better results. Conflict which is destructive must be dealt with immediately. A 1995 study in Administrative Science Quarterly showed that conflict is detrimental to groups performing very routine tasks. However, in groups where participants performed non-routine tasks, disagreements about the tasks were not detrimental, and in some cases, such disagreements were actually beneficial. Humans resolve conflict individually, as groups, or in teams. Individual conflict resolution occurs when one person acts for the group. Individuals handle conflict either by denial or regulation. Denial means that the individual refuses to accept that there is a problem or hopes that it will go away. Denial settles nothing, needs are not met, and the problem remains. Handling conflict by regulation means that one individual takes control. This method can work in a crisis or when a routine decision is to be made, but it is the least effective method for managing any other type of conflict. Group conflict resolution implies that more than one person decides how the conflict will be resolved. Groups handle conflict through mutual concession or joint action. With mutual concession, settlements usually means that there's a partial surrender of purposes or principles to reach agreement. Joint action means that the goals may be mutual, but the experiences are not shared. Of the two types of group conflict resolution, joint action is beneficial to the most participants. Team conflict resolution occurs when a group agrees on a goal and how to achieve it. Teams resolve conflict either by collaboration or synergy. Teams that collaborate on a resolution do so by working together to reach a decision. Collaboration means that while agreement is reached, some team members may have reservations about the solution. When the team uses synergy to reach a resolution, everyone agrees on the final decision without reservation. The team acts as a combined and co-related force. Consider the three categories of conflict resolution: individual, group, and team. List the various ways in which you have tried to resolve conflict in the past, as an individual, as a group, or as a team. Stop the unit here for a few minutes and think about this and complete this exercise. When you're ready, begin again. Managing conflict one-to-one. One of the best ways to avoid conflicts when meeting one-on-one occurs before the meeting even takes place. It is crucial to choose a meeting location which is convenient and acceptable to both parties, and which takes the purpose of the meeting into consideration. For example, you wouldn't want to discuss a negative performance review in a crowded restaurant. In fact, the cardinal rule when managing one-on-one conflict is to always meet without the person's coworkers present. If other people are present, there's the potential that the parties involved in the meeting will feel the need to take a defensive or aggressive stance, or that their sense of humiliation will forever remove their ability to respect you. Avoid sitting across a table from each other. This automatically puts participants in an adversarial position. Use positive verbal and nonverbal body language. Keep your arms and legs uncrossed. Use positive statements. Ask your partner to identify the problem. Listen carefully without interruption, and then restate what you've heard. Give a concrete example of the situation based on what you observed, not on judgments or assumptions you've made. State your expectations, consequences, and the resulting effects. Agree on a goal, and then ask for a commitment. End the meeting on a positive note, thanking your partner for his or her time and effort. The key to managing one-to-one conflict is remembering the following. Cure, K-U-R-E. Keep arms and legs uncrossed. Use positive statements. Restate only after listening carefully. Examples given are concrete. Team leadership skills and group dynamics. Keep your team focused during the meeting by communicating with participants and allowing them to communicate with others. Work with dissenters to build a network. Restate expectations, keeping goals and values clearly defined. And finally, remain detached. You can communicate more effectively if you distance yourself from any disagreement. Stay calm and keep an open mind. Pay careful attention to the dynamics of your group. For example, Ed might work well alone, be aggressive when he works with Mike, assertive toward Ron, and dependent on Cleo. Keep this in mind when assigning work groups. In their article for Group Dynamics, A Little Leadership Please, authors McGill and Slocum state that leaders teach leadership by exhibiting personal interest in the leader behaviors of others, teaching leadership as they practice it, encouraging from the heart, and by giving power away. Former Secretary of State Dean Rusk said, "The best way to persuade is with your ears." Listening is the key ingredient of good communications, yet very few of us do it well. As any experienced group leader will tell you, all the preparation in the world won't do any good if participants aren't listening to you or to each other. The following are several ways to help improve the listening skills of both you and your listeners. Listen. Only speak to clarify or summarize. Use your best ear to listen. Turn the ear you listen with on the telephone to the audience. Avoid making assumptions about what the speaker is saying. Decide to learn something from each speaker. Restate what the speaker said before commenting. Apply information you learn from the speaker to information you already know. What do you think? Is listening the most important ingredient to good communication? If you say strongly agree, then I agree with you. To improve group listening skills, ask for participants' attention. Provide an outline or an agenda. Vary the pitch of your voice. Give the group a break. Ask participants who hear you to give a signal such as stamping their feet or clapping their hands so that you know that the whole room can hear you. Move around the room. Stop talking. Promise to keep the meeting short. Use humor and include the audience whenever possible. To increase involvement, well, another adage says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. The same is true regarding your meeting. Forcing people to come to your meeting, even forcing them to listen, will not ensure that they will participate in the meeting. But without participation, your meeting will not be productive. Following are several ideas to promote audience involvement. Ask the group to list their needs. Tell a story. Ask someone to summarize what has been said so far. Learn to recognize body language. Build in reflection time. Use soft music. Ask the group to decide the best course of action. Anytime people come together, differing opinions and misunderstandings will result. The supercharged manager is firm, flexible, and straightforward whenever conflict arises. Here are some ideas to take the sting out of a disagreement. Use humor, but be respectful. Find areas of agreement. Use the word and instead of but. If verbally attacked by a participant, thank the person for the comment and then proceed to the next point or ask the audience to respond. When giving good news, say you as if it's theirs, but say I or we when telling bad news. Remind participants to stay on task. Let's look at another scenario. This time, we're in Mike's office. Mike and Angie are looking at a report, and Todd walks in. Mike: Hi, Todd. Angie and I were just reviewing the sales report. Todd: Yeah, Mike, I wanted to talk to you about that. Your sales are way down. Angie, quickly rising: I better leave. Todd, shaking his head: This will only take a minute. What do you plan to do about it, Mike? Mike: Todd: Winston is breathing down my neck. I want a 20% improvement next month. Got it? So here's the question. Todd broke the cardinal rule of managing conflict one-on-one. What did he do wrong? Is it Todd didn't end the conversation on a positive note? Perhaps Todd didn't speak to Mike privately. Todd didn't sit across the desk from Mike. Or all of the above. If you answered that Todd didn't speak to Mike privately, you are correct. So good work. This is the end of Unit 5. The next unit is on technology. Let's get going.